Good afternoon. It is Saturday, August the 10th, 2019, and it may be that this is the top for Bitcoin dominance. This could be the time when we see Bitcoin dominance end. And we'll see more in our episode today. Let's jump into this episode of the Bull Market Watch, the cryptocurrency Bull Market Watch. Completely screwed up my beginning. Let's take a look at the disclaimer. You can pause the video and read through it because this isn't trading advice, just market observation. Lots of market observation going on right now. Bitcoin broke lower out of our triangle formation that yesterday I was certain was going to break way higher out of. So as it came up to the top, it looked so bullish, then so bearish, and the indicators were all back and forth except, the RSI, the MACD indicator never did coincide with what I was wanting it to show me, the bullishness. It never gave the bullish signals I was looking for, and there's confirmational bias to go back and learn from in some of those videos. Now we see Bitcoin dropping off. We can also go in and see that Bitcoin dominance may have hit its highest point that it's ever going to be into the future. It will never get back up to 70% again because the alts are actually better, stronger, faster. And they're going to be stepping up. Just like Facebook took over MySpace, we could see other alts take over Bitcoin in the future as people get more educated about the various properties of each different altcoin. So in today's episode, we're going to go into some detail on Bitcoin and the dominance. We're going to review the Bull Market Watch spreadsheet and talk about what these orange and red lines mean and why they're important here today. And then we're going to talk more about, at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you about how to get our pro crypto trade signals for the next while for free. And in the meantime, we'll go through the big six. We'll go through ADA, EOS, Ethereum, Litecoin, Tron, and Ripple. And they're only the big six because they are what's trading on BitMEX, where we can trade them with leverage, going long on them at the bottoms and short as we're coming out of tops. And that's what the purpose of this trading channel is, to identify these longs and the shorts as we go through day by day on these markets. So I see we've got no Dak, Lojack. I saw your comments there. I was practicing your name earlier. Who else is on the stream here? And where in the world are you from? It's almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so I have about 40 minutes to go through this stream, and it's not as much time as I want, but then I would miss yoga if I didn't get past everything. So let's take a look at Bitcoin. Let's zoom in on what's going on with Bitcoin. It has come out of this flag and pulled back. And in the longer term perspective, it's 3 lower highs that it just broke from. So it's really a significant trading pattern here. Let's go to the 1-day view. It's significant. And we were watching on the other channel as the RSI was breaking on the Bitcoin trading live stream. We went through in detail of what's going on with Bitcoin right now. And it really looks like we are going to be coming down from where we are in the like a slinky. It takes a while for the slinky to finish rolling over from stair to stair, it seems to me. While it could be the slinky process coming down, our indicators should be giving us notice, right? There should be a divergence in the indicators and the RSI, the MACD, the on-balance volume should all be verifying that this is going down and showing a big bearish signal on that. I'll do a live stream later this evening after yoga on Bitcoin specifically so that we can get inside this and see what's going on. But for this stream, Bitcoin dominance topping out like this top formation means that altcoins are making bottom formations exactly opposite to this right now. And sure enough, as we jump into the Bull Market Watch spreadsheet here, I'm going to go over to Poloniex, and we can see that yesterday we had 43 failed markets. They were making brand new lows. Now there's only 20 of them making brand new lows, and 20 odd of them jumped up now into a near fail status, which is good. Now they can build the structure for a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and that'll take some time. They'll move up into the neutral status as they're doing that. And as they get near to breaking out of that 1, 2, 3 bottom formation to go higher, they will be in our alert status. And when they break out of that 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, we'll move them up into our hold status. Finally, when they run out of the top and they're crossing over a 1, 2, 3 top formation and they are coming over the other side, then they go into the cold fish status and we get out of that trade. And we'll watch this graphically as they unfold over the next while. And I'm anticipating a bull market for the next 12 to 18 months. So this is the very first stages of it that I believe we're witnessing here. So I'm so keen to have these spreadsheets. And if you'd like to get a copy and access this spreadsheet, you can, as a patron, you can go and join our patron channel. You get access to the spreadsheet. So it's a patron channel that you get some real amazing data from. And yesterday we were at 109 failed markets, brand new lows. Now there's only 52 of them, and the other 50 jumped up into near fail status. So over the next few days, they'll move into the neutral status. And when they cross over and they're almost to break that 1, 2, 3 bottom formation and the exponential moving average crossover, they'll be in the yellow status. When they cross over, I'll move them to green. And then after they go over the top formation and they make a 1, 2, 3 top, and we get the exponential moving average crossover on the other side, we'll move them to a fail status. Hey, Joseph, good to have you along again. Nice to have some regulars here. Hello, Diamond Stanley. That's super loud in my ears and quite startling. I like it. So more of them is awesome. Let me upgrade you, Stanley, so that you are a mod. And Joseph, I'm going to upgrade you so that you're a mod as well, because you guys are regulars on our Discord chat. And if you guys are interested in our Discord chat, there's a link down below. Now, top formation here. I would love to go through all of the alts. I would love to go through all the details of what's in all of the alts, but I'm going to focus on just these 6 here for today and go through the indicators so that we can verify what we were seeing yesterday. Now, this isn't the kind of trade that I can take myself. Even though we had the RSI giving us a very nice divergence from the price and Bitcoin was topping out right at that moment, it is the perfect time to be buying into these markets. It is a trading signal, just not mine. So this is definitely a trading signal as it's breaking out of this channel right there. There's our a channel break. As Bitcoin's breaking, it is a signal. And you can see all these confirming indicators going along with it, but it's not my signal, not on this time frame. As I zoom in, there's still no signal for me here. It took off too fast for my trading signals. I need to have a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. Otherwise, I don't know what, it doesn't give me the structure for the trade. So what I'm looking for, at least in the 1 hour time frame, is that this is going to pull back and rest a bit and come up to these levels like this. And when it does, it gives me that spot to be getting into, and that I'll be expecting to see that the RSI is back up to pretty strong levels. Maybe the RSI pulls right back and it's just breaking higher as we come across here. That will be a good confirming signal. If the RSI pulls back and crosses back above these levels right here as we're crossing, that'll give you my signal. So I can plan in advance where I want to get in on this, and then I just have to wait for it to actually form up. And if it doesn't, I can't trade this market. I can't start my accumulation in this market yet. I may have to wait for it to create a channel, a formation in the 4 hour time frame, which is usually a better idea. But we'll be watching this now in the 1 hour and the 4 hour time frame. Let's go in to see what the on balance volume was doing, just to keep the regular pattern of the same studies for all these markets every day. So the on balance volume was showing some good turnaround here. That was a good swath of buying right there, but then prices came down to new lows. And so I like to see that we have this support now turning around the bottom, and it supports my idea of it pulling back and consolidating a bit and then giving us a signal. So this is starting to show the turnaround of the movement. I don't want to jump on every wave. I want to wait till at least a bit of the tide is coming in. On the 4 hours, a really good 12 hours, even better actually. ADA, looking at the MACD indicator. Yesterday, we were looking at this crossover not being bullish enough. In the longer term, it's kind of bullish from here to here. And then it just crossed and went. There wasn't a 1, 2, 3 bottom. There wasn't a good enough divergence right from this bottom to this bottom in there for me to sink my teeth into. Again, now it's making some confirmation, and I want that structure built up. What'll be the 15-minute time frame? No wonder I should start in the 4-hour time frame. This is what I thought we were at. So the 4-hour time frame has a nice rounded bottom in the MACD, and it did cross and give us a divergence as this was coming down. Yesterday we did have a divergence on the 4-hour, and that it crossed and is flared out so nicely is very bullish, supporting that it's probably, the 4-hour MACD crossover is so huge now in the many things that I'm watching. As this makes the 1, 2, 3 formation, this has already given us the signal that it's coming. So we know these bottom formations are building, and the 1-hour time frame gave us a nice divergence all the way along. So this is just confirming, so that as we see these divergences, we'll see them again. As we see them, we'll know that it's either a trend continuation pattern later, 6 months from now, 2 months from now. We'll know that a trend continuation formation is building up and that we should be putting the nitro on. At this stage of a bottom formation trade, you should be extremely small with your trade. If you had $100 to trade on this, you still couldn't put $20 in on this, for me. It hasn't crossed over the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation yet. Even if it breaks higher than this, I can't. I have to stand aside and wait for the formation to build up. And we'll watch that over the next few days. All right, so I see I need to move around the stream setup a little bit. I want to have more chat on there. There's only 3 in the feed, so I'm going to move that around tomorrow and going to have a different layout. Something like I can just do right now. Can I Alt? Or is that not the right way? We'll see how this plays out. Okay, that's enough for now. Just get it off to the side a little bit. The moon, just haven't seen it yet. $100,000 Bitcoin will come. It's got to pull back a little bit. It'll come. I'm a big believer in it for sure. Now let's go on to ADA in the 4-hour time frame. Whoops, clear that. Clear that, move it over. I'm really keen on what I'm seeing here with this trailing indicator. It's going to have to cut through both the red and the blue as this creates a really good signal in the 4-hour time frame. The cloud has to switch to green, the blue has to cross over the red, so all that's going to take some time. As this does something like that, as I'm wanting, then this will really confirm our signal, and we can write it out in advance, knowing what we're looking for the trading signal. And I want to wait. I want to make myself wait until all of those things are in place before I put on a trade. Here in the Ichimoku Cloud, if you are a cloud follower, this could have given you a breakout signal as it was coming through the cloud. We already have part 1. We already have part 2 as it's cutting through there. We've got part 3 of the crossover, and as it's poking through the cloud, that's your verification right there. And it doesn't require a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation for this trading signal. And I wouldn't trade it myself. I would still want it to come back and hit that cloud and go up. Call me stubborn. I've been called worse. Probably will be again. Now if we go on to EOS, let's go into 4-hour time frame. Here's a very similar pattern. I like it because we identified this the last 2 days. As this was coming in, we saw these divergences building up. We were calling it. Still not a trading signal I can actually trade. Beautiful, nice to see it moving, but now for me this is like the alert, like the notice, hey, something's coming up now, pay attention. This is a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation breakout right there. Well, not really. Not enough. It is, but not so much. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Kind of a not good enough. It needs more time. I don't like the 15-minute trades. I always get killed on those. So I'm waiting for this to pull back and step up. But we can see that trade was in there. And I know that when we go to the Ichimoku Cloud, it's going to give us that same idea. Let's go now to EOS on balance volume. Again, this didn't show a nice turnaround in volume. It's showing it now, but we saw a better turnaround in ADA before it, right? We saw some good buying in ADA here, and this is only coming into the buying. So I'm still not jumping on this one. It's got to make that bottom formation as well. It's looking great. I'm happy to see this as Bitcoin's fading off, and it is a trading signal for someone, but I'm waiting for a little bit longer on this. Let's zoom out now and go to EOS and 4-hour view. So the 4-hour crossover is very strong in the MACD. We had a very nice divergence in the MACD setting up for the last day and a half, 2 days. And then as this crosses over and that's blasting off, those two things can be put together for a trading signal. I still have to wait. This is giving me notice that my formation is coming, and I can wait for it. So then it gives me the correct risk to reward ratio. When you get the chart into a point, it's always better for your risk to reward ratio when it comes to a point, because then you can decide, okay, I'm going to buy in here and put my stop loss here. It gets nice and close together. But when they're this far apart, that's a much wider risk to let it have that range. So I like to wait for it to come to those moments. We'll see the divergence in the MACD indicator as this is building up. We're going to watch this. We're going to watch this bottom build up. We'll see our exponential moving average crossover, and off we'll go. Love it. What are we at? 4-hour time frame. Clear that off and zoom into the 1-hour time frame. This is a much more fun stream to do when we have buying signals coming in and prices going up and it's the bottom formation and dominance is slipping off. That is awesome. Let's go into okay, so this is EOS for the MACD indicator, now EOS for the Ichimoku Cloud, and again we can see the same that we saw in ADA. Was it? Yeah. We see the crossover of the blue over the red. We see the twist of the cloud. We see it poking through the cloud. All of those things are a buy signal. So if you're sitting watching the 1-hour Ichimoku Cloud, it would have said sell, 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 close your position long in the 1 hour. Now we'll see how it plays out afterwards. This it did really well. It poked through that cloud and it stayed below the cloud all the way along. That trended beautifully. Now, if we get a trend out of that on the way up, that's going to be something. It's going to be some nice profits from where we are now. I'm still waiting for that top formation, the 1, 2, 3, or the bottom now. 1, 2, 3. Let's go on to Ethereum. This one was a surprise to me as well. I thought it would do better. It's making a number 1 point. So it can build a 1, 2, 3 now. That's it. Zoom into it. Nice. Very good. And the divergence in the RSI was there as well. Not so clean as the other ones. It wasn't as a happy chart. And I know that when we go into the Ethereum on balance volume for the 4-hour time frame, it's still not showing any good on balance buying. So it's nice that we've got some in the 1-hour time frame, but it needs more juice. It needs more of a crowd backing it before we know that it's going to be taking off. Let's go into Ethereum for the 4-hour time frame on the MACD. This is crossed over positive, and I like that we have a divergence here, that it's crossed over positive back here at these levels, then it's crossed over positive, but the MACD is higher. So we have lower lows here and higher lows in the MACD. That's a nice divergence as that crossover is happening there. So that's really good news for Ethereum. Zoom in to this, and it's not nearly as bullish because we have the lower lows and the lower lows, but it's creating this structure now. Also good news, but not yet. Now let's go into Ethereum for the, again, in the 1-hour time frame. This great, because it's the green line has not quite crossed both of them. It's not at all like we saw in EDO and ADA and EOS. The blue line crossed the red, that's good, but we don't have a twist to the positive. So that's pretty cool to see that all confirming exactly what we were seeing all the way along there. Now let's go take a look at Litecoin. 1 month view. So this gave us a beautiful clear divergence, and we were talking about it the last couple days. So it's giving us alert that things are coming up. Now we've got it bouncing up to these nice levels. I still want this to pull back and give me that 1, 2, 3 bottom structure, but it doesn't have to. It could make a V bottom and go way up, and I miss those trades all the time. I always miss those trades because they're not making a 1, 2, 3 bottom on a time frame I can trade. What is this? The 1 hour time frame. Here is a 1, 2, 3 bottom. Probably on the 30-minute time frame, the exponential moving average has already crossed over. And this is an alert, unofficial alert that I put in our Discord chat this morning as this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation set up, and it was crossing over in a 30-minute view. It is a trading signal. It's just a trading signal that, and I can trade it. I traded it. It's a trading signal that you need to be there to babysit. That's the thing, is to get your stop loss above the entry as soon as you're in it, because they're super high risk at this time frame. They whipsaw around so much at this time frame. However, let's go on to now Litecoin on the on-balance volume and see what's going on there in the 4 hour time frame. That's no good. So ADA and EOS are winning hands down over Litecoin and Ethereum right now, just because of the buying volume coming in. The pattern of the buying volume in Litecoin isn't as much as the selling volume right now. So maybe that'll change over the next couple days as this formulates and deepens, so that we start getting nested 1, 2, 3s. 1, 2, 3 breakout. Then it goes into a longer time frame, and we have a 1, 2, 3 breakout. So there's the second nested 1, 2, 3. Now we're getting some stability in this bottom formation. That's what I'm waiting for. That's what I'm looking for. Let's go on to Litecoin in the MACD indicator. 4 hour time frame. Good divergence that we saw here the last couple days. Nice pull apart here where the MACD indicator is flaring wide and the histograms are stepping up big time. So that's quite an important change that we're seeing across all of them in the 4 hour time frame. And for me, that is the first bit of drawing the 1, 2, 3 top formation. Can I quickly, sure I can, quickly go to Bitcoin and look at the 4 hour crossover here. Look where it happened. Look where it happened. Now let's go back to where I was, Litecoin. And look where the 4 hour crossover is happening, right at that number 1 point. So just like in Bitcoin, we're going to have more of a bottom formation set up, just like we saw this top formation setting up in Bitcoin before it broke. But we were already told it was going to break as that formation was just starting. So I think we're into some really great setups here for these alts. Let's go see what Litecoin's doing on the 1 hour. Ichimoku already passed through. So we crossed through green lines, both of them. The blue line is crossed over, and we just had the twist to the green just happening now. So this would be a buy signal, and I still wouldn't take it. This one I would take because it's the 1, 2, 3 formation. So this one I traded on Poloniex this morning as it was taking off. Now we'll see where it goes. It's not my job anymore now that I'm into the trade. Let's go back over and go through Tron, because I featured Tron yesterday saying the decline and the decline of Tron. It's been on such a downtrend. And as I was starting out this channel and focusing on these 6 coins here just a little while ago, everything else was making a potential bottom, and this was just terrible. There's nothing that we could do with it yet, and still shaping up, but not an action point yet. So we have the lower lows, we have a higher lows here in the RSI on the 4 hour time frame. Zoom into the 1 hour time frame. We've got a 1 and a kind of a number 2 point there. But the other part of the trading plan is that it must break the downtrend line, have the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and then the exponential moving average crossover. Those are the 3 things that make up this trading plan for entering off of the very bottoms like this. And as this unfolds and we talk through this, we'll go through all parts of the trading plan day by day. But you'll have to suffer through hours and hours of live streams to get it all. If you want it faster, you can go over to IntroToCryptos.ca and sign up for the alerts and trading package. And you get, boom, all the information from a spreadsheet. Tells you exactly where the entry target is, the profit target, the stop losses, entry, profit, stop loss. You get a screenshot of every alert so that you can see exactly where the chart pattern is. you understand that this is a springboard pattern and is building up, that we are looking to grab a position in that. So if you want that faster route, head over to the website. 1 hour time frame. TRX. 4 hour time frame. Nothing buying here. Right? It turned around in the 1 hour time frame. So like Litecoin, it's showing some buying, but we need it to establish now so that when we come to the 4 hour time frame, we see that there's enough of the crowd already in there that they've taken up all of the risk, and we can just jump on the slide when it's all ready. It's all ready to go. We see the bottom formation set up. Where's my parallel lines? Their parallel lines happen so much in altcoins. I don't get it, but I trade it, because when these parallel lines are broken and we have a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation inside that, it changes and the trend goes a different direction, just as straight as though it was drawn out ahead of time. And I wouldn't suggest that there's anyone manipulating it, that they're drawing it out ahead of time. I wouldn't dare suggest that. Now, here is the crossover on the 1 hour time frame for the Ichimoku Cloud, and it's not quite a buy signal yet. It's poking through there, but as it comes back and moves through, this would turn into a buy signal before I would get into it. As it comes back and is poking out of that, that's a buy signal, but I wouldn't be doing it until a retest here. And even then, I'd be pretty skittish and expecting that we're going to get some like crazy bullish, oh, everybody's excited. And then people who have been holding losses, they get rid of it. And then we're going to go. So there's the second potential entry, not just the breakout, but there's always that excitement on the breakout that gets sold back down, and then the real move starts. So I like it. We'll watch how this one plays out in the future too. There's another one that we can write it out in advance, exactly what we're going to do when it happens, this pattern. Now we're going on to Ripple, and we're looking at the 4 hour time frame. So it did a pretty sharp bounce on the 4 hour time frame, and I'm whipping through these because I'm running out of time. Oh, I'm okay. 15, 20 more minutes. Nice divergence. Good breakout here. Couldn't trade it myself. Zoom into the 1 hour, 4 hour time frame. Zoom into the 1 hour time frame, and it's kind of giving a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation that I could have traded. The exponential moving average is crossing over now, so that would give me one of those first entry points. This would be the first potential entry point on a breakout like that. And as you know, it may give us some excitement first and then pull back and retest those levels. And if it does, there's another place to be entering. And it gives us that nested 1, 2, 3, another place to enter, and on it goes. It's really awesome. When we're in the trend, it's going to be a lot of fun. As we're starting it out, it's great to be imagining, what do we do if it's in the trend? How do we, make the most out of it? Now looking at the 4 hour Ripple on balance volume, not tickling me. So ADA and EOS still win the contest for today for that. The rest of them all have on balance positive volume in the 1 hour time frame, but not giving it to me in the 4 hour time frame. So that means that this bottom formation needs some more time to juice up as well. Those other 4 markets, it's 15-minute time frame. This is look at this. It's actually a 1, 2, 3 formation here and a larger 1, 2, 3 formation here already. We're already nesting on these buys. That's nice to see it establishing this way. Now we'll watch to see it play out. Let's go on to Ripple on the MACD indicator. I got to go to the 4 hour. There we are. So again, on the 4 hour, this conformed pretty well like everything else in this trend channel. And we had a divergence in the MACD as this was playing out. So this is a good divergence. Then as this is pulling apart and spreading wide, all of these are just before Bitcoin was breaking lower, actually, So I'm not saying a decision was made somewhere before Bitcoin prices broke, but I wonder what time zone this was in. Where in the world are those leaders that are making those decisions? Because look at this breaking through this trend line. This, give it to me. Parallel channel. 1, 2, 3 bottom formation breaking out of the parallel channel. Something I watch for. Now zooming in to Ripple and looking at the Ichimoku Cloud. So we have 3, I think, that gave a clear enough signal in the Ichimoku Cloud to actually be a buy, where we have this trailing indicator, which I need to do research on. It cuts through both the red and the blue. This is bullish. The blue crossed above the red. That's bullish. The cloud twisted to green. That's a bullish bias as well. And then prices broke up through it is the buy signal. I didn't trade it. I would really like this kind of structure to build up underneath it and that on balance volume to shape up for us. And of course, we could buy there, but there's probably going to be excitement and we'll wait for it to come back and that gives us a second chance. Then we can look at what we're doing after. As this all unfolds, we'll start doing our trend lines. We'll start doing our parallel trend lines to see where the channels are, where we're heading, what the potentials are. We'll wrap in some Fibonacci's in there to give us some ideas, and we'll see what these markets can do. Now, I have a few minutes at the end of the stream here, and we got a few people on. I don't know. Oh, actually, I'm not watching it on the right place. So if you have a market you'd like me to check out, please bring it up. Watching it on the right place. Oh, there we go. So if you found this interesting, if you found it useful, if you would like me to continue on it, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and come and join us on our Discord chat because we talk about these cryptos all day. I can do a live stream and then right after the live stream, something changes. You'll find that information on our Discord chat. Now, let me see. Where is Binance? Drag Binance in here. So, some really nice moves in these markets. So they're jumping right out of these trades. QLC up 30%. Dent. Matic is up 24%. BTT, Loom, Syscoin. So there's a lot of coins that are making some big moves right now. Taking off and this is the measure of Bitcoin dominance losing ground. All of these alts taking off as Bitcoin is sliding back. Tons of them. It's mostly green all the way through everything. And so we go through all of those markets. And the way we measure them is, let me go to Poloniex. The way we measure them is how far along are they on this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. So for example, let's go look at the biggest movers here. QLC. Q O P Q Q L C. Okay, I see. I've got my favorites, and it's not. So QLC is one of those markets that I couldn't have traded myself, and these I call a popcorn market. We're going to see more of these popcorn markets right now as the beginning phase of the bull market. So as we are starting out, we're going to see a lot more of these that are going to do the green candle up and back like popcorn. And right now, since December, the biggest popcorns were just over 100%. So if it's doubling and it's gone up 80 to 100%, this is as big as they've been getting. Whereas in the past, we would see them doing 300-400%, and then they would come all the way back down and move along from here. So I call them popcorn moves. And the only way to be ready for them is to have a whole bunch of coins and have your sell orders laid out in advance. And then hopefully if it happens in the markets you're holding, then you can make some popcorn money out of this and reinvest. So then now you've got a larger position because we know this is the very first stage of the long-term bull market. This is like the foothills of the mountain, if we're thinking of it that way. So we get these popcorn moves to begin with. It pulls back, and then it creates a better 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. We're going to move up some stages. We're going to consolidate, just like we've seen in Bitcoin. Probably some big moves back, And then we're going to get our buy signal to add on to our trade in the longer term trades for all of these. I think I overdid that chart. I think I overdid Coinigy again. Can't take it. So now let's go over to a different chart platform. Here's Bitcoin dominance sliding off. And we can go to the multi-coin charts and take a look at what Bitcoin's doing. Here's the 5-minute time frame zoomed out. It's the 4-hour time frame. We're still in the uptrend for Bitcoin. We're still in the uptrend for Bitcoin. It's too bad this calved out. Let me see if I can get one of them to work. Good. Clear this off. Get rid of the indicators. Zoom this back to the 5-year view. Actually, what I want to look at is an altcoin versus Bitcoin for this time frame. And I'm looking specifically at March of 2017. I'm going to go to the daily view, pull that back again to March of 2017. Everybody knows March of 2017. But the thing that I'm going to point out here is what happened to Bitcoin and altcoin price correlation. So here, of course, we can see Bitcoin prices going up, and we can see altcoin prices are getting crushed, just like we've finished going through now over the last year and a half. And look at this, how long this took. This took a long time for this to be crushed down this all the way along. But there was a point where Bitcoin made a top and it pulled back, and it pulled back sharply, and the alts had just started a little bit of a pull up. At that time, as Bitcoin started to go up from $1,000 each, it went up to $3,000 each, and the altcoins went up like 4,000% because they were going up versus Bitcoin while Bitcoin was going up. So the US dollar value increase on these things was insane, just crazy. And I believe we're going to be in for something like this again, but it's not going to do the big blow off top as early. Just like we're not seeing the big popcorn moves that we've seen in the past, we're not going to see quite this big of a blow off. It's going to take a longer time, and it's going to go in bigger waves, and it's going to be more similar to what we saw in Bitcoin from September 2015. I'm going to go to Bitcoin chart now. Same time frame, yearly view, pull it all the way back, all the way to September 2015. This is where we are with the alts, a little bit different, but essentially we've come down and been crushed for such a long time. I am believing that the alts are going to be starting to do something like we saw in Bitcoin here. We're going to see a stage up, and then we're going to be expecting to see what I'm calling nitro points. Nitroglycerin? Nitric oxide. Nitrous oxide. That's what you put in your car to make it go crazy powerful. That's when you're doing leverage trading out of a big, massive flag that takes months to set up out of these altcoins coming up. We're going to get a run up. We're going to pull back and consolidate into something insane, and then we're going to go straight up. That's where we're looking for the nitro. And for now, we're starting off with a bit of our trade, right? If I have $100, I'm going to put on 20. I'm going to add on $20 here. I might add on another $20 here, because I am assuming that we're going to be going for 12 to 18 months. I'm going to keep moving my stop losses up underneath, and I'm going to sit and do a lot of waiting, actually, especially if we get into a good position here now out of any of the alts that we're in. We're going to wait quite a while as this builds up. And if we are patient enough to wait for that over the next 12 to 18 months, it's going to be astonishing what actually ends up happening. And we'll look back and say it was absolutely flatline. It's not even an appreciable price that we're starting off with now from September of 2015. It's flat. I can't see a thing. All the way along. And the alts are going to do the same thing. Now let's zoom into Bitcoin, because there's no answer ever if this is done. This could do a Bart Simpson right off the top here. Not a very good Bart. All right, back to the chat. Snow, good to have you here. Thank you for the asking. Mind taking a quick look at COS BTC? Sure, I don't know it. COS. Really? This must be brand new listing? Very brand new. So it's harder for me to do technical analysis because there's not that much stuff to technically analyze. There's no history to back this up against except that what we're seeing right here. So it leaves you blind, but so long as you're using your risk control rules properly and you're only starting off with a piece of your position here, then you're okay because it is making a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. The exponential moving average has crossed over on the 15-minute time frame. It's very small. What is 214 Satoshi? You know, you could put in $10. You get quite a few coins, and who knows? But for my own part, that's all I could do with it. And only because it's making a potential 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and there is some volume. There's some buying volume bringing that up right off the bat as it's newly listed. Since the other newly listed coins are doing pretty well when they're just newly listed, the fervor gets into them, this could take off, but again, the trading rules are, this is dangerous work that we're doing here. You start off with a part of your position, you only hold it if it's proven you correct, and you get your stop loss above your entry immediately. And then it's not our job anymore. Our job is done. That's our job. Once that's done, then you have to let the money do the work for you. You have to let the market do its job. And we don't know how long it's going to take, so we're always watching for a break of the uptrend line, no matter when. Here's the break of the uptrend line, and a top formation. If it makes a break of the trend line and a top formation, that's what we're looking to get out on. So that's our job now. Our job is to get in on a good entry, and then we're watching for this exit. Once we get in on a good entry, our job is done. All we're doing now is watching for that top formation and a pullback that makes the exponential moving averages cross over. And that's why I would recommend a longer time frame, and it's more difficult to trade a chart that is so short time frame. You get whipsawed in and out big time. So start off small. If it comes up here, consolidates, and then is going to be blasting above this, that would be nitro. This is nitro. Up into these levels, make a consolidation, and then go. We would check our indicators to see if we have that divergence setting up. Yeah, that was cool. I would want to see an ascending wedge triangle when it comes up to these historical levels. Then we have, this is nitro signal right there. Or if you're, you could wait for it to pull back and put on the rest of your position, as I always do for those type of entries. So that'll wrap it up here for today. I said at the beginning that I would show you at the end where you could go and get our crypto trade signals and help us test out our blog. There's a link in the description below that'll take you to IntroToCryptos.ca/alert notifications. And you can see here, let me update this, see if anything else has changed. I wrote these alerts as I went through the spreadsheets this morning. So there is an alert published for Walton Coin. I can right click and open this in a new tab and see the pattern of the chart that we're looking at in Walton Coin for the trade. I have to go to a working chart. Binance, Walton Coin, WTC, 3-month view. So you can see the potential little 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here right at historical levels where we have support from June 26th. So this didn't dive down to new lows as everybody panicked and sold. This held. That is huge. There are very few markets in Binance that held this way. Then as we zoom in on this, we can start to see our 1, 2, 3 formation pattern and our ascending wedge building right now. So I'm pretty confident this is going to break higher and trigger our alert into a hold status. And when that does, we'll see it on our blog here. So there's a few more of the alerts for today that are just published. There's like 6 or 8 markets that are really looking great. And then you can tag surf here. You can go through and follow along what our alerts were for Walton Coin. You can see that we're watching, and the alert is reset and reset and reset as the price changes, but none of them were triggered into a buy, which is great. We only want to get triggered in when it's an actual signal. Anyway, I will sign off for now, and I want to finish with an appreciation for the people who are supporting this channel. And tomorrow when I do this stream, we're going to have a very different looking layout here for the live stream. Thanks again for tuning in, guys. I will see you next time. Bye for now.